So like you got to live within your budget.
That my pastor emeritus, Bishop Gary, told me. He said a season of restraint will produce a lifetime of freedom. And I think that especially for church planters, people who've been doing ministry for a long time, if you have a nonprofit, all these different things, like don't come out the gate trying to stun on people who've done it for 15 years. Like it doesn't make sense. If God blesses you through, watch this, the routine and the regularity of relationship, there's some things you can get off the bat just because you know the right people. And they be like, hey, yo, you can have these cameras, you can have this sound, you could do, like the podcast situation. Like, but if you come in with the expectation to blow up out the gate, and I think that's what the real underlying current is.
Yeah.
Is that everybody wants to hit a home run on the first at bat.
Yeah. They're trying to skip due process.
Yes.
And there's no skipping due process.
And we know that God sometimes does.
Yeah.
Like when I say that, there are outliers that is like,
yeah, it's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
God decided to do that. But then we take that and we try to copy and paste that into every arena.
Well, people tried to do that for 5 years after God elevated you.
Uh-oh. Bro.
You can't say this. I'll say it for you. Niggas tried to copy you for 5 years. Everything you did, they did it second and did it worse. It was terrible.
I'm gonna remove my mic from the
I'm just telling you can't say this, and you probably didn't notice. I noticed. I'm like, you never walked down the hall of you didn't even know you had a hallway you could walk down until Mike did it. But you look goofy. You're not. This is not you. You should never do this. You and your first lady look weird, holding hands, talking about we're about to have a great service. I'm like, I'm not coming. You look uncomfortable. Your wife doesn't want to do this with you. She actually doesn't want to be here. Do you ever see Natalie with Mike when Mike's into all his shenanigans? Why are you trying to pull your wife into this? She don't want to be here.
Natalie is nowhere to be found.
Natalie's nowhere to be found.
You will not see her on any of those things.
And so, they tried to follow you for 9 years, for 5 years after you popped off, because they thought the formula was, if I get my social media on par with where Mike's is, then I'll have what Mike has. No, you won't. While y'all stuff was popping off, I still had the same regular stuff at Embassy City with my little faithful 1,200 people just clicking that little heart, and it was fine with me. I mean, I was cool. I wasn't about to start in the back. Yeah, I'm about to. Yo, Embassy City, we about to have the best service. I'm not Mike. I don't have Mike's energy. I don't have Mike's personality. I have my personality. Mike's an extrovert. I'm an introvert. And so we approach media differently. Yeah. But it works for him, his way, and it works for me doing this now my way.
The truth of the matter is, people don't understand is that's me. I didn't do that.
No, this is what they don't understand. You did this with a camcorder.
Yes. Like
you were doing this when you were like 11.
Yeah. Like
this has always been you.
It's always been me.
Yeah.
So this notion that when more people show up to the show, that somehow I'm putting on.
No, you're not. This has always been you.
I've been this way. When you came,
and there's footage of it.
There's footage, and some of it I wish I could destroy.
Yeah.
But this has always been me. It's
always
how God has wired me.
Yep.
When we first met and you came to preach at my youth conference because Rich Wilkerson canceled on me and I had to find somebody in 2 weeks to come.
Yep.
Like you came, I have a picture of me in a all white suit.
Yes, sir.
Like I'm in an all white suit.
Yes,
I couldn't even afford it at the time. I don't even know where I got an all white suit with the white t-shirt, conference t-shirt, and Natalie's pregnant, and I got the Flesh Killers hat that we got printed up. Like I've always been into fashion. I've always been into music. I've always been into letting people know what I'm doing because I believe in it so much that I should tell somebody. Like, but that's been me forever.
Yeah.
And I think the message or the moment that we have to extract is God really does bless the real you. He doesn't bless who you pretend to be. And so I'm not saying that if God has somebody else doing something, you'll never do it.
No, absolutely
I'm
not.
saying that you better make sure it's really you at that season to do it.
Absolutely correct.
I was talking to Pastor Furtick one time, and he said, the one thing I love about you is you're fully committed to the version of you that you are today. And I was like, I never thought about it like that. But I was like, yeah. Like,
this is who I am.
I'm the example guy right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not doing examples, guys. I'm not doing examples on stage because people want me to do examples. I'm doing examples because when I'm thinking about how to communicate this to people, the thing that covers my mind is going to Walmart, getting this thing, pouring water into, like,
that's who you are.
It's who I. It's
always been.
It's always and I was willing to give it up for a season to live within my means.
I wasn't gonna bring it up,
but I had to. And do you know the person who told me straight out, no more examples?
For 1 year.
For 1 year. Tim Ross. He said it's taking too much energy for your team.
That's right.
It's taking too much creativity to be able to pull this off. You don't have the budget to do it. And he went down there, and I thought this man was putting me in jail. You want me to go up there and not use any example? But it was one of the best things that ever happened to me because it made me a samurai with my words. So many times the restriction is really an elevation in a different area that could not grow unless you had something restricting you. And I'm telling you, what I can do sitting down blindfolded with nobody, I don't have to use my hands, my feet, my eyes. All I got to do is open up my mouth. And I have learned how to communicate pictures and ideas and God's word and all of these different things. But that came from a season of being in a mentorship, an apprenticeship, a brotherhood, getting the dust put on me to be able to say, but you got to be able to do this with a restriction, being submitted, sub to the mission enough to actually obey what was being told to me or submit to that thing. And then what it did was it produced so much more fruit in my life.
Yes, it did.
But it was authentically me at the time.
Absolutely correct.
And so I just want to encourage some people right now, like, I don't know who I'll be 10 years from now. I may be the guy who sits down with a cup of coffee and preaches from a couch. But I promise you, at that moment, I'll be fully committed to that person.
That's right. You'll be who you are.
I will be. And I think that the enemy gets to creep into too many people's lives because they're dealing with the incongruent nature of themselves. So I get to show up everywhere exactly as I am.
Yeah.
I don't change my voice.
Yep.
I don't stop wearing my necklaces.
Yep.
All of these is fake. Just go ahead and put it all out there. Like all of these sparklies, my daughters bought me these, except one, my wife bought me. And people got YouTube videos of how much my jewelry costs. I bet you did not think $2.29.
Michael Todd.
No, I'm telling the truth, bro. They got all kinds of stuff on what I this and that. It's all good. I'll let you think I spent $200,000 on jewelry. This jewelry don't cost more than $200. The reason do you think
your daughters got it from Claire's, nigga?
Yes, bro. My daughters give me jewelry. My wife gave me a couple pieces and all the other bling. It's my daughters who dress me. Why? Because I'm a real father and they see themselves. When they see me up on the stage and I'm wearing, he's just trying to show out and stuff, this thing will break immediately and has turned my neck green several times. What I'm telling you is the reason you think it costs more is because my gift is big. What God has placed in me is big. And so you think that I have to do these things. This is who I've always been. I've always been this. And I just want people to double down on who God has made you to be and be open to evolving into who he's creating you to be so you can show up in every room just as you are. When that happens, you talking about living in freedom? You talking about waking up in joy? Shout out to Bella and Ava and Gia for the jewelry. I love you, babies.
You think it costs more because the gift is big.
That's it.
That literally took my breath away.